So I grew up in Atlanta, obviously as a native, the youngest of 4 children. I went away to college. When I graduated, I went to the University of Rochester in Rochester, New York. Came back to Atlanta, and then I was working with Deloitte, and I got a call from a recruiter. He arranged for an interview with Coca-Cola. And initially, I wasn't going to go on the interview because I loved what I was doing in public accounting. And I talked to my sister, who was very wise, and said, "Idiot, it's Coca-Cola, go on the interview." And left there, and they offered me the job, and I turned it down. And I went back to public accounting and was very happy. And then maybe a week, maybe 10 days later, I received a call from a different manager at Coca-Cola. And he actually described the perfect job for me to leave public accounting. My first question was, do I have to interview again? And he said, no, I talked to everybody that I needed to, and they just wanted to offer me the job, and so I accepted that job.
I have watched Kathy Weiler for over 20 years now. I've watched her navigate a corporate culture. I've watched her climb the ladder of success with a humble spirit in a non-traditional field for women, finance. And she ended up as the executive vice president and the chief financial officer for the Coca-Cola company. Never in my wildest imagination did I imagine that I would see any woman climb to those heights. I'm so very proud of her.
She was the first female and the first Black person as the CFO of an iconic company in Atlanta, Coca-Cola. She also is on the board of Delta, another iconic company of Delta. She's on the board of Spelman. She's currently working with the Atlanta Committee for Progress. She is everything Atlanta.
Well, I think she's being inducted into the Hall of Fame because she's had such an incredible, both professional as well as civic life, and has made so many contributions to this city. I just think she's an outstanding awardee.
Kathy has a big heart for service, and she's spent a tremendous amount of her career investing in her company and investing in her business. And she has taken, as she's left Coke, she's taken that same degree of investment in whether it's her school, whether it's her work with the ACP, whether it's work in so many different philanthropic endeavors.
Well, I think she's brought to the city of Atlanta her passion for the city. This is her hometown. She believes deeply in giving back. And so she's brought all of the range of experiences that she has had in this city and around the world, and she's bringing that back home to do what she can to make a difference here for the Atlanta community.
First and foremost, she's someone that kids can look up to and see themselves in her. And being a role model means not just the role, but the model itself. And when she looks at kids and kids look up to her, she can relate very clearly, being from Atlanta, being in positions where they're in, how she navigated a much more difficult and choppy road to success. I think all of our kids can learn a lot from Kathy as just being more than just a mentor, just being just a model of success.
Kathy is genuine. She is real. She pushes you to be your best. She focuses on you, listens to you. She returns every call, answers every email. She's always there when people want time to talk about their problems, their concerns, what they need to do to develop their career. She takes time out of her day because that's important to her.
In my profession, we bring a lot of young people into different roles, which gives us a lot of opportunity to help young people develop and grow their careers, which is, I think, pretty special.
I have seen a young woman who has become and is a history maker and an odds breaker. She has always been a role model, especially for other women.
What makes her such a great mentor is that she is deeply caring, and she's deeply empathetic, and she's down to earth. But she also is pretty tough. She's tough on herself, and so she wants others to also hold themselves to high standards of excellence. So she expects a lot, but she gives a lot, And what better mentor could you have than that?
What inspires me the most from Kathy is she is able to focus on her dreams. And that's something she's always talked about. She focuses on her dreams. She lives her life true to herself, her ethics, her quality. Everything is who she is, and that's who she presents every single day to everybody, regardless of who they are.
As my jobs changed, I made sure I didn't change. It was important for me to just be who I'd always been to everybody.
Perhaps the biggest lasting stamp that Kathy will have is that young Black women will look up and see someone like Kathy and believe that anything is possible. I think she's an incredible role model to young women everywhere, and particularly here in her hometown. I think young women can look up to Kathy and see a woman who has been a trailblazer, and I think that will help them to believe that they too can be trailblazers and that they too can chart any path that they want to.
Atlanta has, it's where my family is, it's where my roots are. It is such a special place to me. I've watched it change over the years. I think, clearly, a little prejudice, but I think it's the best city in the world. And so now having the opportunity to serve that city is incredibly important to me.
I think there's no one more deserving of the Junior Achievement Award than Kathy Waller, this history maker, this odds breaker, who has blessed all of our lives.